Good evening, Professor. So I think first off, I'm going to try to get this screen share down. I've already tried it a couple times and definitely not my strength. Um, so I think the screen is going to start freaking out now, and I'm going to come over here. So hopefully we have you. So I decided to do my topic on marketing myopia, and the original quote that I contained was from the 1960 um, Levitt article that was shared originally, and that says that sustained growth depends on how broadly you define your business and how carefully you gauge your customers' needs. Now, in the next slide, I'll be discussing what it is exactly that that quote means to me, but I thought that was a good start because that's from the words of somebody or the person who started the marketing myopia movement. So, what is marketing myopia? And it's these dueling ideas that connect to one another about marketing and business. And it's the idea that success or failure of growth industries, and that's important when you say growth industries because the industries have to be independently successful, they hinge on the understanding of customers' needs. And it argues at the same time that failures in growth industry in the past can often be attributed to product or service orientation rather than customer orientation. And what that means to me is that if you forget what it is exactly that your customer needs, and you instead focus on what it is that you're producing or what it is that you're doing for them, that when things change, either technology changes or just changes within preference or culture, that you're going to be far behind because you're going to end up asking yourself, how is it that I can continue to sell as many of what I sell this year as I sold last year of this particular product, when there may, in fact, not be a need for that product or service. Um, so that's in a nutshell what marketing myopia means to me. It's that customers' needs should come first, so that you in fact have a lot more flexibility within your business model and within the people that you market to. So, who's responsible for this idea? The first, as I've already mentioned, is Theodore Levitt, which is the original marketing myopia article written in the Harvard Business Review. And this was a very new idea that he pushed, that of marketing myopia. And he used the railroads as an easy explanation for his thesis. And what he said is that the railroads failed not just because of new technology in airplanes or just any different kind of transportation, but it's because the railroad company didn't leverage their already great amount of capital and growth success within the transportation industry by asking, how is it that we can help further the transportation industry for our customers? Instead, what they asked is, how is it that we can help continue to make railroads the method of transportation for people to use so that we can continue to remain solvent? Now, that's a problem with framing. That's a problem with asking the wrong questions. And that's the whole question of marketing myopia. So we explained that in the last slide, so I think we can move on. Philip Kotler, on the other hand, in 1964 or 67, furthered this idea with his book Marketing Management, which has been a wildly successful book. And it pushed the idea of social marketing. And what Kotler suggests is that we should begin to see marketing as an exchange of values between two parties rather than just a business exchange, which makes marketing a social activity. And this just furthers that idea that the need of the customer, that the interplay between you and the customer is more important in the long run than just understanding what it is that you're making and how it is that you can maximize the effectiveness of what you're making, because as I discussed before, the wants and needs of your customers will change. Okay, so why should we care? And the first of these reasons is that because the idea of marketing myopia began to give legitimacy to marketing as a business practice in 1960 when it came out, because before that it was really just synonymous with selling. It was an individualistic activity in which you were trying to get as many individuals to buy your product as possible, rather than seeing yourself as a fulfiller of needs, which means that you can focus on greater societal wants, focus on um, market testing and things like that, because you're now focusing on how is it that you can fulfill the needs of your customer base rather than just how is it that I can have a better product so more people buy more of it. It also helps to remind us, and in some cases inform us if we didn't know, that framing is incredibly important. The way that you frame the product or service that you're selling. What message are you bringing to the market? Are you bringing to the market that you are the best product in the market? And sometimes that can be a very effective thing, especially in the short term, which is why you would be a growth industry in the first place. But if you're looking long term, the question you should be asking, that you should be framing the question, is how is it that we can help continue to make sure that our customers are satisfied with our product? And that's incredibly important bringing to the third part, because the fact is that we live in a time where customer service is a staple of the United States business culture. Other than possibly information technology, it is the largest part of the United States business culture, and because we do a lot of service oriented business in the United States. So this really helps us remind us of that. It is the key building point of customer service within the marketing framework. Okay, so right here, I'm just going to leave with the references while I talk for just a second. I actually wanted to thank you very much for this project because I like the individuality that it offers. It both at the same time understands that we probably all aren't going to be marketing majors, but that we are all taking this class because it offers us some value. And I like assignments like this because it allows us to assign value to our own interests and to really use this course to learn about things that are going to help us in our future moving forward. So I wanted to quickly thank you because I think that that's a really interesting and great way to help further education. So I'm going to stop sharing now, and hopefully my face comes back up. I'm sure I look very blank faced here. Yep, there I am. So I hope you have a great evening, and I will correspond with you later.